veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are back, Kimberly and I, with our Married at First Sight panel recap. This is season 17. Yay! This is season 17, episode 12, called Something's Fishy. Ooh. Whoa. What is fishy? Oh, what exactly is it? Guys, so we're going to get right into it, get right to business. We open up this episode with the couples having less than 4 weeks left in this experiment. Will they overcome the obstacles? Will Cameron's heart heal? Who's the biggest liar is the questions I want to know. And was anybody ready to love? Wink, wink. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. So we're going to open up. Let me see. Hey, Kirby. Welcome in. Welcome in, Roro. Good to see you. She says, happy Sunday from the Sunshine State. Hey, what's up? Stay tuned reviews. That's Wes out there. Women should listen to me. Yeah, that's part of my title because I really feel like I'm watching these shows more and more. And I'm getting the honest impression on some of these shows that the women are not listening. Wes, what do you think? Do you think they're listening? Hey there, Kirby. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thumbs up the video, guys. That helps the algorithm go higher and for us to get out into the algorithm and the channel to grow. And I appreciate you all as you like the video. And I appreciate you for being here, Kimberly and I. Kimberly, what's going on with you today? What's the weather like there?
I'm pretty good weather here. Maybe low 60s or high 50s feels good to me because I'm hot nature. So I
Oh,
love
okay.
the cool temperatures.
My son was talking about that the other day, and he told me, and I guess he gets it from me. He says he's also hot natured. But let me tell
Mm.
you, it is a whopping, hold on to your hats when I say this and your snow boots. It is a whopping 8 degrees here in Detroit,
What?
Michigan. Yes.
Wow. I never
We're
knew it got that cold there.
Oh my girl, we get into the below zeros. We get into the negative
Oh,
numbers here. I keep telling people, I don't know if anybody understands. We are part of Southern Canada. That's the way I feel. Like
yes, you are. Any snow? Because I love snow too, and we rarely get it in
yeah,
North
it did.
Carolina.
It did. It started snowing. What was it? Friday, Saturday.
Wow.
What's today? It started snow. I think Friday, and it started snowing. We didn't get a lot of snow for here. I mean, like it's very dry.
Okay.
It was like maybe 4 inches tops. Um,
Wow.
but it can be tricky because you got the people on the road, the first snow of the year where people don't know how to
Mhm.
drive. They forgot their snow manners. They forgot to stay separated from the car in front of them and not be riding
Yes.
your bumper and all that craziness. And I'm like, what? You've been living here all your
Mm.
life. Or, some people could be visited. I don't know. Everybody acts like they're visitors on the first snow. So that's what I feel. Um, Hey, stay tuned. Let's see. What are you saying? I gotta watch putting your stuff up on the screen because sometimes you be pickle tickling and the pickle tickler and you be saying
Yes.
some crazy stuff. You gotta come join the panel one day too. But
Yes,
stay
you should.
yeah, he really should. I love his videos. You guys go over and catch Stay Tuned Reviews. Check out his channel. He's here on the YouTube's streets. And he says no to my question. No, the women are not listening, but that's how they were raised. I know how they were raised, Wes. The happy wife, happy life mentality, okay, means that the woman gets what she wants and the man's feelings don't matter. Now, that's a good point because I used to say that expression, happy wife, happy life. And now I hear it's happy spouse, happy house, or something like that. Have you heard that,
Mhm.
Kimberly? Have you
Yes,
heard
I
that
like
expression?
happy spouse, happy house because it includes everybody.
Yes, I do think that's more egalitarian and more equity in that. And
Hmm.
absolutely, if you're married, if you're the woman, you want your husband. I mean, you want your husband to be happy. You want him to be content. Not that every time, I think not every moment of every single day are we any of us gonna all be happy, right? But
Right.
yeah, I think you want to put forth that effort. So yeah, you're right. I agree with what you're saying there. That's a good one. I might have to come back. Let me put a star on that one. Um, oh hey Colton. I think I said hi to Colton already. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So we are 27 days until decision day, and we're going to start with Claire and Cameron. And thank you. I want to thank the Let's Talk India and Igor, who've been with us in seasons past. I want to thank them for Igor for the graphics. Now, if I can just find them, where did I put them? Oh, here we go.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're going to get started with Claire and Cameron, and that is right here. Okay, now because he did them for the three of us, and unfortunately, by the way, Sean is taking care of some business. Sean, we miss you. Come back. We hope to see him next week. Because
Mhm.
of that, it's right in the middle of me, but that's okay. It's no big deal. So, we've got Claire and Cameron. And I think I'm going to take the comment off the screen too. So you can see Claire and Cameron now. So those of you, in case you can't remember or it's difficult to keep track of these crazy couples, with Claire and Cameron, we start off with Claire saying, we see Claire waking up. I think it's one of the ones where they use their own iPhone and they record, like a private video. And so
Yes.
Claire waking up in the morning in the marital apartment, oddly enough, and she says it's really odd to be in the marital apartment without her husband, Cameron, because they're separated. What did you think about that? Or can I go ahead and move on to Dr. Pia?
I just think it's odd because in the other episode she told us that he spent nights away before. So why is it so odd now if this isn't his first time? But yeah, we can go to Dr. Pia.
Okay, good point. Good point. Yeah, I think I'm not sure. So this is the couple where I don't know who is the biggest liar, allegedly.
Mm,
I don't know if
yeah.
it's Claire or if it's Cameron, but I have the general sense that both of them tell tales. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they tell lies, they fabricate things, or they exaggerate things. I don't know, but I just don't trust either one of them, to be honest. But anyway, in the next scene with them, we have Dr. Pia is on the phone and she calls to check in with Claire to see how Claire is doing. Claire says, and this is the weird thing. So I'm watching this. Claire never really in the beginning doesn't respond to how she's doing, but she moves immediately to, well, Cameron is not feeling well. He's ill. And she says, so she's decided not to call him, that she shouldn't call him. I'm like, say what? Your husband is ill, and even though you're separated, but you say you want this thing to work out. And this is why I say the women really aren't listening to the men. What would you do, Kimberly, in this situation? What did you think about this scene?
Well, I appreciate you because married, you got the experience of married life, and I do not. In my opinion, I would not have been that close and caring and concerning about him because we are no longer together. And then his conversations do seem to make it seem like it's Claire, well, the breakup's fault. I'm not going to say it's Claire's fault, but he seems
Okay.
to kind of be blaming it on the breakup. So you can only imagine what he's saying in private conversations to her off camera. So I would
Mm.
not be so open and willing to just step in right away. I need to get over my heartbreak too.
Oh, okay. Okay. So even if you were the one that said you wanted the separation, you think you would still feel this sense of heartbreak and you wouldn't necessarily kind of call your spouse. You're separated now, mind you, but that's still your spouse. You wouldn't call and just kind of, I don't know, check more on how he's feeling, how he's doing with his health concerns. I see that's where I'm talking about. I think I would have to check in. But go ahead, tell me what you're thinking, Kimberly, because I respect what you're saying.
Not to the depth that they're going. I don't even know if I would have been ready to call so quick to even know that he was having an issue, not unless he just reached out, and maybe I would check, a week or so every so often. But for her to be breaking down and crying, and they both wanted to split. Both of them said separate and divorce. So if he can have a heartbreak, I can be suffering with my heartbreak too.
That's true. That's true. Girl power, girl power. Um, okay, so to continue the with the Dr. Pia, so Claire also says, interestingly enough, that she feels guilty and sad, and these are her words, in quotations, guilty, and she feels sad, but she says she
Hmm.
feels sad for him. And so Dr. Pia, like myself, picked up on the guilty part of it, and she said, "Well, Claire, why do you feel guilty?" And then Claire, again, this is what I don't like about Claire too, because when someone who is, especially an expert, okay, a therapist, when they ask you a specific question, it's really kind of important to give them an answer to what they ask you, because they're asking for
Hmm.
a reason. So Claire kind of skips over the guilty and just says, "Well, I feel sad for him because of his health concerns." And Dr. Pia, she says, "Well, I'm not going to get into that with, his health concerns and what they are because of his rights to privacy."
Hmm.
But later on, and even last episode, we see Cam clearly telling us in the confessional that he's having issues with his heart and his heart rate. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But I have here in my notes, I just got this thing. I feel like Claire is a conundrum. I think I see her more clearly now, but I really can't wait for the reunion, because I want to find out from Cam how much of what she said was true. I want to find
Hmm.
out from Claire how much of what Cameron has told us in his confessionals and on the after party, what is true and what is not. It's really given they're both kind of got some issues. And I'm wondering, and don't laugh when I say this, but is Cam trying to pick up, is he trying to claim SSI benefits? I mean,
Mm.
I mean, and is he trying to maybe get a lawsuit against the production company of Married at First Sight? Because him blaming his heart concerns and condition on Claire is, to me, akin to him blaming it on the show. Because the show is who matched him with Claire, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was very fascinating. But here's the kicker, though. I think he's going to have a hard time proving that, because he tells us earlier in the season that he's had C19 and that he has long haulers effect. And if you know
Hmm.
anything about that, and I'm not trying to, but basically what I've heard allegedly is that that means that you'll have problems pretty much for long term. That's why it's called long term, right? So
Hmm.
I don't think he can put any of this on Claire or the show, but I think he's kind of, something about him is a little weird. I don't know.
It's
But
possible.
yeah, what do you think about that? Him trying to put that on Claire. What do you think?
Now that's just sad. They both agree that it wasn't what they wanted. It's like they both tried and it didn't work. You could really see that they just were not compatible just from the airport thing. I've been done since the airport and he wanted
Oh,
her to carry her own bags. So
exactly. Yeah,
I've been over it.
he wasn't very chivalrous, was he, Kimberly?
No, not a gentleman at all. And that's what we want. We want to feel, protected and cared for and the weaker vessel, as they, like to say. But it's just he's not giving it to her. And now look who has the problem. Look who has the bigger problem. But I'm not convinced. I don't know if I believe this whole heart rate situation. And you may have
Hmm.
this in your notes too, because he looks down at his little heart rate watch and he was
Oh
like, I guess
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not going to
yeah.
go down. But I'm like,
He
show us the watch.
I
Show me the
know,
watch.
right? He's looking at it, and then he looks at it. He gets this little smirk on his face, and I'm like, it might say 72 beats per minute. It's
Woo.
really crazy. Like, and by the way, see where things are wrong is, I know for a fact. Again, you got to watch with YouTube. Okay, allegedly, I've read that as far as heart rate for a person to be his age, it's not even unusual for me, and I'm way older than him, for my heart rate to get up to that level if I'm out walking or doing something or running.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that rate that he gave, the number that he gave. I'm not going to repeat it. It's not like, no, dude, that's not really serious. If you're out moving around, that's not a
Mm-hmm.
serious number, especially because the younger you are, the higher your heart rate can be. And that's called, like, if you're active running, doing something athletic, that's normal. As you get
Mm-hmm.
older, yes, your heart rate, you don't want it to always be up so high. And no, your resting heart rate should not be the number that he said. But you're right. I think it's a whole lot of production. It's a whole lot of drama for him. But we're going to go ahead and move on to Becca and Austin. Um, was there anything else that you wanted to say about those two? I'm sorry.
Nope. All good. Nope.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Okay, so we get to Becca and Austin. And here's the thing. So we also wake up, we see the first scene of them. They are cuddly and they're in bed. So it's the morning time, just like it was for Claire, but she was without Cameron. But Becca and Austin are still together and they're in the bed, laying in the bed as they videotape this from their iPhone. And they are in each other's arms. So they're still as cuddly as ever. So they're the most cuddliest couple, but yet they say that they have not consummated the marriage. But the next scene, we're going to go ahead and go on to the next scene. Becca and Austin, we see them photographing his friend Derek and the wife Ashley and their two young kids. And um, Austin really loves it that Becca works so well with children, and he seems to think that that bodes well for their wedding, for their marriage. What do you think about that scene? And do you think that that does bode well for them to have children?
I do. So I think it is very important to see your partner interact with children, whether it's their nieces, nephews, cousins, someone else's child in this situation. So I think that is very important and it can say a lot how they interact, how their patience is, because you don't want them to be, snappy and rough, especially with children so young as these were. So I think it was a good opportunity and it may have made Austin a little more confident in his relationship and staying around even with the afterlife conversation because that's where I thought we were going to pick up. I thought we were going to pick up
Mhm.
with the afterlife, but no, we just jumped into bed and they're all in love again.
They're back in love again. So I don't know. I don't know either. He's not, and I just think this is my personal thought. Maybe he's not as serious about his Christian walk and
Mm-hmm.
his journey, or maybe he just says, well, okay, we'll just move past it. But while he was talking about the kids, the thing that I thought it was great that she was good with children, and I could see where he would get excited about that. He seems to be one of these men, and you don't run into them at that often, where he really wears his heart on his sleeve, especially as it relates to children. It's very clear to us that this man really wants to have a wife so that the wife
Yes.
can give him a legacy of children within,
Mm-hmm.
within the bonds of marriage, right? But
Right.
my question is, though, if he's really, really walking this walk, this Christian faith journey that I'm also on, that as far as I know, Kimberly is also on, I don't
Yes.
know why anyone that's walking that faith, from my understanding of the Bible, the Holy Word, and my own personal journey, why you want to have a spouse that's not also a believer? Because now we run into the issue once we have children. How are we going to raise them?
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, what do you guys think out there? Wes, are you still with us? Kirby, what do you guys think in terms of your religious value or faith? I'm not sure what you guys subscribe to, and anything at all, whatever faith, if you have one. What do you think? What would you want to be married to a spouse that had a totally different belief system than you, as it relates to your spirituality? um, and put it in. If you're watching us on the replay, you can drop down in the comments. Feel free to drop down in the comments and answer that question, because that's the question I have. But on another note, speaking of parents, what they did decide they were ready for was goldfish. So they went out and bought goldfish. What did you think about that, Kimberly?
Too cute. Fish, I've always wanted a fish, had them as children. And I've
Hmm.
always said as an adult, if I were to get a pet, it would be a bird or fishes. So I'm loving the fish. I hope the fish stay around now. I don't want them to go away. I hope they stay the
Yeah.
rest of the season because we know how fish can be. So I thought it was cute, but it does not equate to being parents. They could have tried a little harder. but no comparison to parenting.
I think a pet, to be a pet parent, I think it has to actually have fur, and it has to be able to breathe outside of water. So I'm not
Yes.
going with the goldfish parents. I mean, I think now you said a bird. I would maybe even give the bird. It doesn't have fur, but it has feathers, right? I would even give that the thumbs up. But mostly, I think when we think of pet parents, we think primarily in our culture of cats and dogs, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, something that you have to take care of every day. You have to
And
feed
take
it,
outside and
take
walk. Yeah.
outside, walk it, and if it's a dog, you even have to train it. Train it for
Hmm.
obedience, to sit, to
Right.
heel, to stay. Um, Kirby says in response to the question I asked, thank you, Kirby. He says that Austin wants someone who is spiritual but not overly religious. But yeah, but she's agnostic, which means she has no faith at all. She doesn't believe in anything. She's just kind of like not sure, or agnostic is they're not saying they don't believe there's a God, but they're saying that they're not sure that there is a God, right? But this
Hmm.
is the same girl that got so upset about the question of whether she's going to heaven or hell. But we move on. um the last thing on the note for them we have is that they went to dinner. So Becca and Austin went to dinner with Austin's parents, who seemed very, very warm and very nice toward Becca. What was your thoughts on the dinner situation, Kimberly?
It was nice. Becca put on her good hat. She was good. The parents seemed to like her. Now, Austin's mom is something. I don't know what to call her, but she is a piece of work. I don't know
Why
if
you
I
say that? Why
she
you say that,
speaks her
Kimberly?
mind. I don't know if I would want to be around her because she's just so open. She is not going to hold back. The dad is more so laid back, kind of like Austin, and the mom is more so like
Yes.
Becca.
Yeah, the dad. Yeah, right. I got that too. You're right. I thought the dad, right, very laid back.
Hmm.
She got the kind of man that a lot of women now in hindsight wish they had, because you can kind of
Yes.
mold him to whatever you want him to be. And if you say, "Baby, I'm going to take your charge card and go buy me a new gown," he'll say, "Okay."
Yeah.
But
Right.
was it you, or was it someone else that said? I thought this was interesting, that they thought that maybe Austin's mother might be the one who put the bug in his ear about wanting to have the dinner, because she may be concerned about Becca not having any religion or any spiritual belief, and maybe she was trying to size her up a little bit more on this dinner outing. What do you think about that?
I think so, but I was surprised that they didn't get into the afterlife conversation. I wanted us to go there because I
Mm-hmm.
want Austin's family side of things, not Becca. We keep getting Becca's, side and her friends and family
Yep.
side.
Yep.
I want to hear from Austin's leader and, whoever is
Yeah,
rooted
like
and
his
grounded in
pastor or
Christianity,
bishop. Mm-hmm.
anything. I need his people's side.
I think, what, I'm gonna tell you something. Honestly, I that's a good point you bring up. I think that they are. I think that the production company is purposely keeping that from us right now. I think we're gonna get a little bit further in, because remember, now we've already had what, two couples to break up thus far, right?
Right.
Two couples. Wait a minute. Two couples that broke up, and one couple, Michael, as of yet, has never even gotten married. So they can't afford to have anybody else implode on screen. So I think that
Right.
they probably had conversations related to what you're talking about the spirituality, life, and after the afterlife. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they would show it to us. That's what I'm thinking. That's just
Mm-hmm.
my thoughts. Yep.
Okay.
But so I think we got everything with Becca and Austin. So now we're gonna move over to, and I'm taking my time because I'm also making timestamps when this video is finished. I've been doing timestamps, and I think that helps people to find their favorite couple, because not
Yeah.
everybody likes every couple. So I'm trying to do the timestamps. Okay, so now to our next couple, which is Emily and Brennan. Okay, that's here. Okay, on the screen. All right. And Emily and Brennan. Oh boy, there's a lot for these guys. I don't know if I'll be able to read all my notes for them. They had a lot going on this episode, as usual. So
Mhm.
Emily is saying that to us when she opens up. She opens up on camera by herself. I think um, the crew is there though, because it doesn't look like she's videotaping herself. And she's telling us in confessional that once again Brennan is running away like he has done so much in his past. Um, she says that he has cycles that need to be broken. Cycles are, I say in my notes, the cycles are hard to break. And I think she's saying something to that effect. But what I'm not sure if she's actually picking up on as she says it, she's got a lot of single gal habits that she has brought into her marriage. And I think that's a
Mhm.
problem, you know.
Yeah.
She keeps saying that she deserves X, Y, and Z. But my question to her is, once again, a woman not listening, what does he want? What does he deserve? And what is she responsible for giving to him and to their actual marriage? Those are my questions. Um, but more to what is going on. The next scene we have her friend Lila is coming over. And you remember this scene, Kimberly?
Yes. Mhm.
Lila and Emily. Lila comes in. They give each other a hug. Emily is busy making them a salad of arugula, and she has red wine. They go over to the sofa to sit down to have a chat about Brennan and Emily and Brennan's marriage. And Emily says right off the bat, it's taxing being married. Um, Emily, what have you really done? I don't think we've seen you cook him a dinner, cook him a meal, make anything. I think one time I think we saw you putting the toppings on a homemade pizza. So I take that back. One time I saw you cooking. Most of the time it's Brennan doing all the cooking. um, Emily has been busy telling him all these things about she likes to party, she likes the one night stands. And for the person in our comment section last week, she absolutely did say that. So I'm not making that up. Um, what do you think about the conversation between her and her girlfriend Lily? What did you make of that?
Think it was eye opening because she really gave her opinion on how she is just so fed up with her husband because she's just not getting any energy, no responses to the questions. He's just to the straight to the
Yep.
point. He loves saying same every time they ask a question and she jumps to answer. He'll just say same. We've seen that a few
Yes.
times. And
Yes.
I don't like it because I don't think he truly agrees 100%. But later on in the episode, we did get a few more details about why he's being so calculated and all. And I think you probably said it before too. But it's just kind of sad to see them go back and forth. And I think it's just Emily not wanting to give up because Brennan is already done. But
Oh yeah.
Emily is just being strung along by him because he doesn't want to just end it 100%. So they keep doing this like a roller coaster, a yo-yo effect where they're done. Now they're back together and halfway trying. So now they're at the point of just being friends.
Can I ask you a question, Kimberly? Thank you for that. But can I ask you a question? What do you think
Mhm.
it is that keeps Emily keep trying? What is it about the situation that, because she admits that the situation, she doesn't like it. She
Mhm.
doesn't like it's something that she says. Wait a minute if I can find it in my notes. She says, oh, right here. She says to Lily, she says, I think he cares but has no idea how to show it.
Mhm.
She also says this line. She says, because I know how he felt,
Mhm.
past tense, before, and I just don't believe him. So once again, I say, why aren't these women listening to their husbands? If a
Mhm.
person tells you this is what it is, why are you
Yeah.
trying to play therapist and go all back and forth in your mind or in conversation with them and assume that they're not telling you their truth? Because he's basically said to her he doesn't want to move forward with her in that way.
Yeah. And it's like something within some women, they just feel like they're going to be the one to change him. They're going to be the one to make him do XYZ. And I just don't think you can make a grown person do anything. They have to want it within themselves, and also want it with you. Brendan just does not
Right.
want that it with Emily. And Emily does not want to lose. She does not want to be the one that he dumps again, on national TV, basically, because she's never been in a relationship. And I think that's another thing that makes her just want to try to make this one work, because none of the other ones have worked or even came close to working, because she hasn't been in a relationship.
And we can now see why. So the question is out
Exactly.
there. The question is out there, guys, for you here live and in those bushes. Why does Emily think that she can change Brendan's mind to want her? Please,
Hmm.
anybody, if you're here and you can offer an explanation, if you're male, if you're female person here, I really don't understand. But you are right, Kimberly. I think, and I guess I have to go back to my younger years, that
Yes.
maybe I at some point kind of had that experience. I'm trying to think. I'm going through relationships in my head, and I can't quite go. There was one guy in high school, so really, really way, way back, right? I mean,
Mhm.
probably freshman year. In fact, yeah, it was freshman year. There was a guy who was a sophomore at my high school, very handsome, very athletic, and I really thought he was just the cutest thing, and I wanted to, talk to him. I wasn't even allowed to date at that age, but I would say just talk to him, and we could have maybe been, boyfriend, girlfriend in school because my father and mother were not having none of that, right? But
Right. Right.
right. But but I left him a note one day in his locker, and he was so kind and so gracious, and it really set the stage for me to understand and really listen to men. And he did it in a very nice, kind way. He pulled me to the side and he said, "I got your note. I appreciate it. I think you're really cute. You're a nice gal, but I already have a girlfriend, and I just
Hmm.
wanted to let you know." And I think that was a good thing for me in that experience to experience that so early in life, because I don't think after that, I don't think I ever really I learned to listen to men because they already know. Like he's
Hmm.
basically telling me, and then make the funny story to add to this story. This guy, he was African American, like myself. The girl that he had a crush on or was in a relationship with, she was Caucasian. So once I saw them together, I was like, "Oh, it makes perfect sense because I'm not anything of his type if that's his type." I'm assuming,
Right.
maybe he doesn't have one, but let's just say in comparison, we were nothing alike in that way because racially there was that difference, right?
Hmm.
So I really learned to listen to men. I don't think you can not listen to men when they're telling you what it is. And let's see what Tyronda has to say. I don't know. Maybe because she's blonde. That's all I got. Okay. Says maybe that's why Brennan doesn't like her.
Mm.
Yeah. Who knows? That's a point. She might not be his type. Maybe he's into
Mm.
brunettes or redheads. We don't know. We don't really know. But it's something about at the beginning. And here's my theory on them on this whole thing with the attraction. I think that the two of them have consummated their marriage. I think that Brennan has talked to her off camera to make her see that she should not tell the public that they've consummated the marriage. I think it's very much like who was it, Ryan? Was it Ryan and Claire years ago in Atlanta that got married that wouldn't tell us that they had consummated their marriage?
I think so.
I think that's what it is. I think it's a whole song and dance because I think they definitely did it. Thanks, Monique. How are you today? Um, Happy Sunday and happy MLK Day, by the way. That's what I meant to mention at the beginning of this video. To everyone that's out there within the sound of our voice, within this video, on the replay, happy MLK weekend, right?
Yeah.
But I think that they've done it. What do you think, Kimberly? You think they've consummated?
I would say so, I guess. I just don't understand why they are so stuck on not sharing that information. Even Justin and was it Alexis? They were all like weird about sharing. If you're going to do it, you're an adult. I mean, I get it. It's not everybody's business. Okay,
Right,
we're past
right.
that. But it's like, why sneak around and, act like you haven't? What's you're married? but if you can go out and, do it unmarried and broadcast it or whatever, why not within a
Hmm.
marriage? It's just weird to me.
I think, you know what I think the reason for that, and that's a very good question. Why not broad, or why not just say that you have? Because they are married, right?
Hmm.
So it's not like they
Right.
have anything to be ashamed of, you would think. But I think the simple reason is these guys have figured out this show has been on for 17 seasons, right? And
Hmm.
people have figured out strategies and ways to pump up their social media. They want to get that social media clout. And the last thing that the fellows want to do is be end up looking like a jerk, right? So what they want the wives to say is no, they have to not tell anybody they've consummated, because that way, when these guys ask for a divorce on decision day, they look much less like a jerk, because people are saying,
Oh.
"Oh, you consummated your marriage on the honeymoon. You was all into her. You
Hmm.
was bumping and a grinding and a grinding and a bumping. And were you even using protection? That's what I want to know. Was you using
Yeah.
protection?" But I guess Emily must be pretty good at using protection, because she's been out there with a whole lot of one night stands allegedly.
That's the point.
Mhm.
I'm like, you can brag about, well, not brag, but you can talk about one night stands, but oh, and maybe that's what it is. Then it just came to me. Maybe Brendan's ashamed to say he slept with a woman that has been with a bunch of people.
Yes. Oh, yes. Where's my clap machine at? Hold on one second. I don't have it handy. Hold on. Here it is. Here it is. Let's get that clap in there for you.
Oh man, that must
Yes,
be what it is.
bravo. Bravo. He definitely doesn't. But I think he probably slept with her before he really, I think, well, let me put it this way. I think because she told him on reception day, so I'm assuming they hadn't slept together before the reception. She told him at the reception and his friends that she was loosey goosey, right? Allegedly.
Right.
She
Mm.
told them that right at the reception. So this is before any hot and heavy time could have happened. But yet he chose to sleep with her. So my thing is that, like a lot of men, especially when they're real young in their 20s and 30s, they don't have the self control to resist if a woman is making it available to them. They want to go ahead and, smash, so to speak, right?
Hmm.
Smash and dash. And I think that's what he did. He said, well, it's available. We're here in this on this island and we don't have anything else to do. Why not? It's a sport.
Right.
It's a sport to a
Yeah.
lot of men. So he took advantage of it. But you're absolutely right. That's probably the other reason. He doesn't want people to know that he's been with someone that half of Denver allegedly has been
Oh
with.
gosh.
I'm sorry. That's what the people are saying. That's not me. That's not
Yes.
me
Oh
saying that,
gosh.
but allegedly the people are saying, the men in Denver are saying that she's real loosey goosey.
And they're saying somebody said that they think they consummated the marriage and it didn't smell so good. So that's where I thought we got something fishy from.
You know what? I had not heard. See, look at you being messy. Kimberly is messy. She is messy. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know where
really
she gets
did.
these rumors from. I don't know, because I hadn't heard all that. But
But it makes sense now because if you're going from person to person, let's do a health lesson. It will throw off your
mhm.
pH balance.
Yeah, allegedly, that's right, that's
Yes.
right. I just don't understand, but let me go back to my notes here, because I don't want to miss anything. With them, this reset idea. So as she's talking to her friend Lily, Lily asked her, why do you want to do a reset with this guy? Why are you trying so hard when he's not? And that's when I get to the notes where I said I read those. I told you these before.
Hmm.
That basically out of her own mouth, Emily says, "I think he cares for me, but has no idea how to show it." How does a man get to be 35 years old or 32 or whatever Brendan is? I mean, he's in his 30s, right? How does a
Right.
man? You don't go through high school, college, and your career and your life, and you're in your 30s and you've had girlfriends and not know how to show a woman you like her. That's ridiculous,
Right.
Emily. That's just ridiculous. And only you, the one night stand pro, would come up with something crazy like that. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. um Dr. Pepper meets with Emily and Brennan says that they have tried, and this is where I say a lot of these couples and a lot of these individuals are just liars, answers. Brennan says that they've tried to the best of their capabilities, but that he wants more boundaries. He wants more time alone. He doesn't want to be touched. He wants to focus on the friendship. What do you think about that, Kimberly?
Just it's good. I don't think he wants to be the one to say I'm done, even though I feel like he is done. I don't think he
Hmm.
wants to be seen in that light because he's
Right.
already told us a few times that he's trying to protect his just his reputation and look
Yep.
good on camera. I think those were his words, look good on camera. And it's
Yes.
not working because we can see that he's faking, and to me it's making it worse because he's not willing to share how he truly feels. So I don't know how Emily can say that he cares for her in any way, because in my opinion he doesn't. He really doesn't want to be with her.
Mm. Yeah, Tyranda, thank you there. Tyranda, she says that they look good together. I agree. They
They
do look
do.
good together. They're a very attractive couple, but no chemistry and no stick to itness, no commitment.
Hmm.
We're gonna go ahead and drop down to the hot tub scene. Is the last scene that we have with them because that ends the whole episode. But we've got one more couple, so stay tuned. Um, they're in the hot tub now. They're doing the fishbowl question Q&A answer type of thing, right? That Dr. Pepper has asked them to do, so they can get to know each other on a deeper level, right? Um, Cameron is doing okay. He does open up a little bit and become vulnerable at one point where he shares that he and his sister haven't talked to each other for quite a while and he's estranged from her. But he basically tells us that he's had to do this to keep his peace and he's okay with it. What did you think about that? What did you think about finding out that vital piece of information about he and his sister?
Very important, because now it shows the relationship that he has with a woman who is probably one of the closest people ever if they grew up in the same household.
Hmm.
It kind of gives you more insight on why he's acted the way he did towards the many women, as we've talked about on the show. So it could be him holding some resentment, to women just in general because of the relationship with his sister. So that was good. I was like, go Brennan, thank you for sharing.
Right, right. I thought I wanted to know more about that. I thought it was good
Hmm.
that he shared. I give him credit. I give him credit for sharing because I think that's not an easy thing to share. That at
No,
35, like I'm thinking, like what could have happened that you would be estranged from your sister? And I'm not really sure. Did you catch whether the sister was a older sister or a younger sister? Because we don't.
I didn't. Nope.
Yeah, for some reason, yeah, I didn't either. Specifically, I think he just called her his sister. He didn't say my big sister, my older sister. I'm
Hmm.
thinking that she was maybe older.
Hmm.
But what I want to know is why they're estranged. And I
Me too.
also kind of, my concern was to your point of saying about being a woman and him not having a good relationship. I'm also thinking, like, but why aren't you more concerned about it? What are you guys doing to patch things up? You got hopefully the rest of your life, 30, 40, 50 more years. And when, if the natural order of things happen, typically parents pass away before the children. And then the
Hmm.
only person in the world that's your close blood relative would be your sister. Why aren't you making more of a headway to try to patch things up? But see, but you know what? That kind of, I guess I'm answering my own question because I'm thinking this is the guy that doesn't believe in therapy. He doesn't believe in any kind of family therapy, any kind of marriage therapy. And he and Emily are doing a very poor job of, in my opinion, of listening to the therapists and the experts on this whole deal.
Right.
So, but I mean, but what do you think? Do you think that they're doing a good job of listening to the experts, he and
Oh,
Emily?
absolutely not. No, no, no. Even Emily had a touching moment too when she shared about her dad, but
Yeah.
it's like they're staying surface level. They're not digging deeper, and they're not completing the exercises that they are given by, Dr. Pia or Dr. Pepper, whoever. So no, I don't think they're trying. Something happened and they just shut off. It was like it went from night to day, day to night, overnight.
It did. It did. And to your point about her father, she said that her and her father, that was a very good point, that her and her father didn't get along. And I said,
Mhm.
wow. There, she said that, but the interesting thing about her, if you notice, she said that she had been in therapy for her and her father not getting along.
Mhm. But
Um,
I can still see how it's affected her though.
yeah, I can too, because that led me into my next thought. Okay, so she went to therapy to try to work through her issues with having, daddy issues.
Mhm.
Okay, does that relate? Because I think that does tie into her being so promiscuous.
Mhm.
Why is she out here having these one night stands, partying? Why is she such a heavy drinker? I left this out, but I want to bring this back up. I want to go back a little bit to the moment when her and Lily were in the apartment alone having girl time, right? And they were chatting. She took the whole bottle of wine, and I don't know if that's normal or not. I do drink wine. I'm not a big drinker. I've never drank a whole bottle by myself. I don't know if I've drank a half a bottle. Usually it's like uh, a glass, maybe two max, right? But
Mhm.
she brought the whole bottle over for her and her girlfriend, and I got the feeling that it's probably more for her than it was for the girlfriend. And the thought that I
Mhm.
had in the moment when she grabbed the bottle and she was walking to the sofa, Emily holds on to bottles as if they're security blankets.
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I just, this girl doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I think the issue that she has, that she needs to go back to therapy to find out, why are you thinking that it's okay to have one night stand with strange men? Why do
Mhm.
you think you're not connecting with men enough that you don't even go past a third date? I didn't have that problem when I was her age. I'm sorry. I didn't have that problem. I was beating the men off with spoons and forks and baseball bats. Like if I went out on one date, that's the guarantee they're gonna call me for the second, the third. Uh,
Mhm.
I really was the one that was choosing not to go out beyond a second or a first date. I was the one selecting, but I never had a problem um, with men asking me out on second, third dates, trying to make me their girlfriend, their woman, or
Mhm.
whatever. And you, what about you? What has been your experience? I mean, if you
In the
can.
words of Brennan, same. Because I've been
Kimberly,
engaged. I've been engaged multiple times. I got them calling me every few
exactly.
months to see if I'm married still
Exactly.
today.
I have
So no,
never, ever, I'm sorry,
never.
I'm not trying to brag or boast, but
Right.
that ain't been my experience. That's all I can say. I've not had that
Mm-mm.
experience with uh having guys say, "Oh yeah, we've been," but it is not a thing too either when you think about it. Maybe part of the thing is, as a woman, if you're going on dates and you're giving hot and heavy time to the guy on the first,
Right.
second, third date, that
That's
might be
it.
why he ain't calling you for the fourth and the fifth and the sixth date.
That's it.
Not every man wants a loose woman. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Unless you're going to be a video vixen or something. I don't know, maybe rappers, but the average man that is of good standing and good character, I don't think he wants that. I just
Right.
don't. But I digress. The hot tub scene, the hot tub scene. Okay, so last thing on the hot tub scene, they're in the hot tub. They're answering these questions. Brennan is getting flushed in the face, and he says, "I'm sorry. I'm feeling very uncomfortable. It's been 2 hours in this hot tub." And what does Emily say to Brennan, Kimberly?
She did not care. She was basically
What was her?
just,
She told him to suck it up. She said, "Suck it up,
yeah.
Buttercup."
That's so rude and sad and not wife-like. That's why she's never been in more than 3 dates because she's not caring. She's not compassionate. Yeah, that was just.
No,
That's why
no.
they need to end it because they're going to start all these little jabs and as they did in the hot tub scene, the man's about to pass out and then she says something like, "Let's get out of here before you croak" or something. So rude.
Yeah, she was rude. And see, here's the thing. She doesn't like it when he's rude to her. And I agree with her
Yes.
because I think there's
Hmm.
sometimes some verbal things, some jabs that he's given. And even in front of the experts that I thought, ooh, he's kind of borderline being abusive with his verbally,
Yeah.
verbally with his
Yes.
words. And then sometimes you wonder too, like that one time when he started hitting his hand and his fist in his hand, like
Hmm.
is there more to that behind his anger and his rage perhaps? But I can kind of, I'm not trying to take his side in this. I'm not trying to take anybody's side, but be on the
Right.
side in the middle of right. But for her to be that non-compassionate, non-empathetic to her husband, that does
Mm-hmm.
not bode well for the relationship. And furthermore, I Googled it. Hold on. I don't know if I still have it. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Oh, darn. I Googled it and then I just messed up because I touched it and it went away. But basically, Google says, according to Google says that no more than 15 to 45 minutes max in a hot tub
Yes.
is safe.
Yep.
Okay. Allegedly. Because I got to put that
That's
disclaimer
yeah.
on there for these YouTube streets because they'll be on my
Right.
doorstep. But
Mm-hmm.
so like I'm like, okay, they were there for like 2 hours. That's too much. 2 hours is too
Yes.
much.
Yeah, and
Too
you do start feeling lightheaded. I've been in it over the
Yep.
time
Mm,
limit, and you do start feeling lightheaded. So it was her chance not to be so aggressive. She was basically like one of the boys, like, "Oh, suck it up, man." Like she really challenged his manhood in that moment because he was not feeling well. You could tell he was a little weak, and she's just like,
mhm.
"Oh, get over it."
You can literally pass out in a hot tub. That's why I
Yes.
was telling Kimberly before the show started. I was telling her in the green room, as we call it, that I've literally been in places where they will have a sign up at a hotel. They'll have a sign up, no more than like 30 minutes in the hot tub, no more
Right.
than, that's like a warning, and they're putting that there so that they don't have the liability that, in
Hmm.
plain English, and I mean this was in really bold, big letters that you can read from 10 feet away, that no, you can't be in this hot tub for more than 30 minutes. So they were in there for 2 hours. I've been in there for like 45 minutes. And when I went to stand up,
Yes.
I was woozy, like
Hmm.
I was almost losing my balance. So I'm like, I don't know why she just talks to him like that, but the fact that she does. And then too, maybe like what you pointed out, that like she challenged his manhood. Women these days that are so masculine in their approach
Yes.
to men, I don't understand what they really want. I mean, because if you're going to be masculine, where is there room for him to be masculine?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get you millennials. I don't get it. Uh,
Right.
sound
They're
off
making
in
it
the
hard.
Yeah, sound off. So last but not least, because we don't want to let the time get away too much, but last but not least, we got to talk for at least a few minutes about the new couple that's going to be put together soon, and that is Chloe and Michael, right?
Yeah.
So Chloe and Michael, we meet her, and we get a lot of conversation with Chloe. But I'm going to skip past some of this. It's not that serious, guys. Um, Chloe and Michael, Dr. Pia goes to Chloe's home for a home visit, and we find out that Chloe is a minimalist. She
Hmm.
is also very idealistic and a perfectionist. Um, Now, do you think all of these things are going to be a good fit with Michael? What we know about Michael?
I think kinda because Michael seems willing to bend. He doesn't seem like he's gonna be strong on what he wants. I think he's gonna cave in and let Chloe lead. And last week I said she seemed like a plain Jane, and they confirmed it. She was a minimalist. It was like that's the
Hmm.
first thing I saw. But with his look, like he just is all over the place from the hair to the earrings,
Hmm.
tattoos, no, his attire. Oh my goodness. So maybe that's what he needs to kind of balance him out. Chloe
Oh,
did mention that she liked the fun, or at one point in her life, she was into the fun. So maybe he could bring that and they could balance each other out.
yeah, now that's a good point. I like how you are always, always, always. Our Kimberly here is always so positive. Go over to her channels, guys, and check her channel out. That's Kimberly Reviews here on the YouTube streets. She's wonderful, awesome, and she does a
Thank
live
you.
watch every Wednesday on Married at First Sight. So we all watch it together, and we have a ball. We watch it on our own devices, and we
Yes.
comment in the chat, and then she comes in on the commercial break and we chat some more about it, right?
Yes.
Um,
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And last but not least, we've got her. I think I'm going to skip her. We see that Dr. Pepper comes in with Chloe. She's talking to her close friends at a dinner table. Dr. Pepper comes in and says that they'll be getting married in a few days. So we see that scene, but I'm going to skip past that, and I'm going to get right to the trying on of the dresses. Now she has one male friend and one female friend who, by the way, happens to remind me of a younger version of Dr. Pepper. Did anybody catch that, or is it just me? But anyway, Chloe tries on a pink dress, which they call this pink dress. Hold on. They call the pink dress the cotton candy dream. Was that a cotton candy dream for you, Kimberly? That pink dress?
Absolutely not. It was not. It was a mess, but I wish she would have stuck with it because that's Michael's style. That's what Michael likes.
Ooh, you
The
are a
over
mess.
the
You
top.
are a whole mess. But it wasn't minimalistic. Now we knew she wasn't going to
Nope.
stick with that. I felt
Right.
like that was almost done for like, for comedy effect because that dress was a
Yeah.
whole hot mess.
It
First of all,
was.
why are you coming down the aisle as a well, I was gonna say young, but Chloe's 39. But okay, she's still youngish. Why
Hmm.
are you coming down on your first marriage? Why are you coming down in a pink dress rather than a white or off-white dress? I just don't understand it. That's just me. I'm more
Yeah.
conservative. But the second dress, what did you think about her second dress, Kimberly? The white dress.
Perfect. I
Yeah,
loved it. It was perfect for her personality, her shape. It looked very,
yes.
very flattering, good on her. So she did a great job.
Yes, I thought so too. And I found out from on the watching the after party that in real life, she said that because Keisha Knight Pulliam did ask her, that was actually only her second dress that she tried on, and that was the one. It was just she only had to do two and done.
Awesome. Yes.
Yes, so that's what we saw with her. But what I'm concerned about, last thing before we go, I am very concerned. I like this couple. I want them to work, but my concern relates to Chloe being her friends have told her, and she has told us in confessionals that in the past she has a tendency toward being controlling. She
Hmm.
comes across even now as still being very rigid. I'm concerned about these things with her. And then she also calls herself a recovering perfectionist. I think for me, when someone says perfectionist and then they look Michael in the face with the, like, and Kimberly described him with the bob, the asymmetric bob, the piercings, the earrings, the tattoos, the this, the that, the other thing, like he don't know what generation he was born.
Hmm.
Is he a product of the 80s? Is he a product of the 2020s? I don't really
Right.
know. Um, but we do know that he does like nice designer goods. Now we do know that he likes his what is it, Gucci and
Hmm.
Versace. So he has the money. Michael has a good job. So he's not
Yes.
dusty. So
Right.
now she can overlook the fact that physically he's not the handsomest guy in the world.
Hmm.
But he may have a heart of gold. He seems to have a heart of gold. And he
Yes.
seems to be one of those guys that you can kind of mold them and kind of get them to lean over to persuade them to whatever, influence them to whatever you like.
Exactly. That's Michael.
And you know what, Kimberly, if he can cook, he might be the perfect guy. Can he
Ding,
cook?
ding, ding.
If this man can cook,
Sign us
if
up.
he can cook, Kimberly says he's all right with me, and so do I. If he
Listen,
likes
a
to
little
cook,
trip to the dermatologist. I ain't never heard nobody.
no, no, it hasn't. It's so true. It is so true. But guys, on that note, anything else you got to say about Chloe? What do you think? Do you think that he's going to be excited when he sees her? How do you think she's going to feel when she sees him?
I
And is he
think
going to have
he's
on a crown? Kimberly, is he going to have a
oh,
crown on again?
and a skirt because I think we've seen him in a skirt before too, right? Or no?
Girl,
I hope not, but I think she's going to be overwhelmed with his look. And I think we're going to get some tears out of Michael. I think he's going to cry some tears of joy, like relief. He's going to be the one. I think there's always like a crier every season. I think Michael's going to be the crier.
oh, you think that he's going to be the crier? What, at the wedding or in the
Yes,
marriage or both?
at the wedding, the honeymoon, all season.
Oh my god. Do you think they'll consummate? Now that you're talking about honeymoon, do you think
Oh
they'll
my
consummate?
goodness. I never know about that. I don't know. I never know. Oh, because see, I'm the type to say, no, wait, wait it out for a season. So I wish that they would do that and not jump right into it. But I don't think so because I don't think Chloe is going to be that attracted to Michael initially.
No. I don't either. I
So
don't
I
think
think
most.
they're gonna wait.
Yeah. Well, okay, they'll wait, and
Hmm.
hopefully maybe then they'll consummate. Maybe they'll get to have a friendship.
Yes.
She'll see that he's pliable, and she'll say, she'll get that light bulb that'll go off in her
Yes.
head,
Right.
and yeah, maybe she will start to like him because, like I said, he has a good job, and then also he's very articulate. He talks very well.
Yes.
So
Very.
what's
And he's
you know
fun. He seems fun, and that's what she wants.
that
Fun.
yeah. That is what she wants. And you know
Yep.
what? She has a dog. Now I've not heard Michael say anything about whether he's a pet dad, but he might like a
Mhm.
pet. Maybe that'll be something new for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hopeful.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, guys. This is Kimberly. I'm actually Aubrey. I'm with Kimberly Reviews. Like I said, definitely go over and check out her channel. We're running a little bit short on time, or otherwise, I would normally let her tell you about her channel, but go over and check it out. I promise you, you'll love it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, help us grow, help me reach 3K, 3,000
Yes. Yes. Yes.
subscribers. I'm getting close, but I'm not quite there. But I need your help, and I appreciate you being here. And if you're here till the end of the video, go ahead and like the video. You must have enjoyed yourself, right?
Right.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and shimmy and shake and get out of here. I'll be back, guys, with another panel for the Ready to Love Dallas season premiere. So at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, please join us in the chat then. And we're going to shimmy and shake. Kimberly, you want to say goodbye?
Take care, y'all.
Take care, y'all. All right. Love you guys. See you later.